Good evening, brothers and sisters. We are Anonymous. It has come to our attention that a certain group of individuals that follow the fictional character Q have decided to start gathering massive amounts of data on American citizens, which is a crime under the Electronic Communications Privacy Act, ECPA, 1986, which protects certain wire, oral, and electronic communications from unauthorized interception, access, use, and disclosure. This video is for educational purposes. It is to inform all those that have been threatened as well as have had your personal information along with phone numbers, addresses and family associates posted on the storminfo.com in order to break the law. The proprietary Mr. Nichols is also in violation of laws that prevent using personal, private, or public information in order to stalk, intimidate, blackmail or harass an individual. His contact info for law enforcement in your area has been obtained. As for his partner Chelsea Combs aka Right Side Baddie, we see you as a main point of access for this site as well as a collector of the information being obtained in order to break the law. We also see you Bromwich Eeks aka Mitchell as a main dissemination point of this material. You are also the person using intimidation tactics, making false accusations against other Americans, and gathering the data personally while recommending a Tor server download before your users help you break the law. You know what you are doing, encouraging and inciting are all crimes punishable by law in all 50 states. Your fellow followers, people that believe in the false narrative of Q and attack those that oppose the CIA PSYOP message to hold the line or wait on a plan that was and always has been to dumb down the American people with false narratives, cause division amongst the political parties, division amongst the races of the many different color faces we as a country are proud to have, and to lead people astray into a foreign reality where the interpreter makes the rules. We as a collective do not try to wash the brains of those that follow us, and we fight against the false narratives being pushed that are dividing this country and leading us into an inevitable civil war. Shauna Armato, we see you as the instigator, the manipulator and the tool being used to provoke reactions from the same people that are having mass amounts of data being collected on them. We also see you as someone more than willing to push the mind-retracted person agenda. Someone that encourages the promiscuity of young teens and makes no apology when you attack CSA survivors, one of which has been a part of the anonymous community since before you started your first social media account. We see the racists among you. We see the things you say about their African American and Native American population. We see you attack those with disabilities. We see you excuse pedophilia. We see you attacking people that save kids online. We see you breaking the law, attacking good people and lying to your constituents in order to cause hate and chaos. The information posted within this video can be used to press charges against the people using TikTok to break their law. We only give one warning. The Storm.info website will come down. All the players will be exposed. We do not dox, we shine a light on those using the cover of darkness to cause pain, hurt, hate and division amongst the human race. We take no sides in your political affairs. We take no sides in your religious wars. We take no side except the side those that cannot speak for themselves and for those that do not have the skills needed in order to have law contacted when people putting their lives in danger need to be arrested. We cannot file the reports for you. This is what we can do. You can have the video banned on this platform like you do everyone that exposes you for what you are, but let us reassure you it will be uploaded to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram as well as archive for evidence. Let this be a lesson to all those thinking about gathering personal information on people in order to bully them or stalk them into silence. A lesson to those that push the mind-retracted person agenda. A lesson to those that attack CSA survivors and for those that make no apologies. Up fuck, we are Anonymous Pennsylvania, we are Legion, we do not forgive.
We are Anonymous. Yo, 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 what up, everybody? How we doing
What?
today?
Oh my. Oh my.
Welcome to
What
the
like I
Catifa
thi-
meeting.
yeah, what is that? That's a new one. I'm new to this. I'm new to this one. Um, can we just can we chit chat about the video? Because like the video kind of
Go
happened
for it.
today
Yeah, go for it.
and we weren't expecting this video. So like I do want to preface um as somebody who follows the like original anonymous account, this was not from that account. Like, I think that there's some miscommunication going on TikTok that like the video originated from you know what I mean? Like the anonymous.
Right.
And I don't believe that it does. It's not on any of them, and it's not really like 100% their style and how they tend to put things out. But right, like they are an anonymous person, so saying we are anonymous, like that's what that movement kind of was supposed to be. So he's not really lying either. You know what I
Cool.
mean? Like it's
Right.
just but like to think that like the one that like everybody knows would cover TikTok stuff, like probably not. Okay. So it's definitely not from that account, like the one that everybody knows. But like, where's the lie in the video though?
Oh, there isn't any. And that's the
Right.
thing. And I guess that'll lead us into kind of the whole thing about this. I mean, obviously, we don't have any whiteboards. I'm not writing on a wall or anything like that. We're just gonna
No.
speak from our perspective of things and show what we have been going through on our end and what is currently going on and I
Well,
guess
like I had said
words.
to you earlier, like I kind of, I wanted to try really hard to make this almost like me and you, me and you talking on the phone about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the only way to kind of like explain it is to not really care that we're live.
So is what I'll do is from my side at least, because I think I was the one between the two of us, I was the first to get in kind of touch with Batty on my end. So Batty, I started like connecting with Batty back in December of 2020.
Before me,
Um yes.
which
And
seems to be not a thing that's said from that side.
right. I knew Batty before I knew you.
Right.
Batty was like 300 or 400 followers at the time, and she came on to TikTok as a advertiser, as somebody
I
that's in
also wanna
marketing.
preface this that this is not gonna be like a right side baddie bash session
Uh-uh.
and the rest of it, so, like, I wanna make sure that people know
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm not gonna bash her. I don't need to.
That's why I said, like, there's not gonna be a whiteboard and, like, awards afterwards and the rest of it.
Yeah. So, she had made a video about helping us conservatives market our videos better to help improve us in the algorithm and whatnot like that. She had tagged at that time. She tagged me, uh, Barbie, and Ant, and so I was the only one that responded. And then obviously things leading up to January 1st and right after the election, and of course all the things of going dark and all of the I guess at that time I didn't realize it was Q stuff, but it was a
I think
bunch of
I think it's just, like, conspiracy stuff in general, so, like, QAnon is a very specific conspiracy within conspiracy theory world, you know what I'm
right.
saying? So,
And so
I'm
then
gonna be on you about that a little bit tonight, right?
we um we ended up like having phone conversations and whatnot. And then that's when she actually got me on the Telegram. And then that's when she started her Telegram group, because that was if America went dark, that
Mhm.
was like the way to communicate apparently.
Oh, okay, so, like, that was, like, during, like, when everybody was talking about the 10 days of darkness.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so then we for her and I lost contact for a while once like everything kind of settled down and we lost contact, whatever, it's not a big deal. And
Mhm.
then we ended up reconnecting again on the app, and then obviously did our she came out to Conroe to do a meetup and everything. So like
Well, she
for
was
my
on Freedom Boys before that, right?
yes, she was on the Freedom Boys, which was the precursor to this one. And that's why for me, like when she says that I'm an infiltrator, it's like, well, how can I be an infiltrator when she was the first one to reach out to me? Like I didn't
Right.
reach out to her to try to gain trust or anything like that. Um, it just was something that was natural. I mean, I engaged pretty heavily on the app and saw she tagged me. She was a small account and whatnot. And that's how we started our friendship, is what it was. And then for some reason some things went south and between like you two, and I guess
Yeah.
that's where you can pick it up. And then that's I got wrapped up into that because I stayed out of that like beef between y'all when y'all had it.
Yeah,
uh,
well, because you didn't wanna be involved in it. I mean, you were friends with
mhm,
her and I was friends with her, and I know that that's probably more difficult for, like, me and you to do just because me and you are as close as what we are,
right,
in real life, so we have bias towards each other, and, I mean, everybody's like that.
right. So like that's why for me it's like how do you call somebody an infiltrator or accuse somebody of infiltrating into their life when like they were the ones that initiated the contact?
Right.
I didn't reach out to her to gain her trust. I didn't do any of that. She reached out first, and so like that's where I'm like, what? And I've never really gone at her on the app at all. I've made I think one video total, maybe two that I can think of, but it wasn't like this big onslaught attack like she has accused, at least specifically me of doing it. I know for you, like it took a while, and you'll talk on that, like because you showed in your one of your videos about how it took forever on Instagram of
Yeah.
all the posts that she was making about us. And then of course, then we have, she was here in Michigan helping us with our Michigan
Mhm.
event that now she's bashing, but she spoke at this event voluntarily.
Yeah,
Um, she backed Ryan Kelly at the time
yeah.
too, that now she's bashing. She the
Well, now they're actually, like I mean, you saw it, they're, like, actually, like, attacking him in his comment section, like, a
right,
guy that was running for governor. Why? Because I backed the candidate? Like, this is just it turns me off from it, and you know that. Like, I had
mhm,
talked about leaving completely after this podcast, and I'm still contemplating it, if we're being honest. Like, I get how have been acting the last couple of days on TikTok, but it's just very weird because it feels like it's just too personal. We were all really good friends. Um, I was really good friends with her, and I was also really good friends, with the person that she was dating. And I may have overstepped my boundaries a tad. I was very close with the person that she was dating, and I was getting phone calls about, some personal stuff that I'm not going to get into because that's their relationship, and it's not my place to
sure,
throw that out into the internet world. But I had one person calling and confiding in me, and it was because of this other person that I was friends with, which is really difficult to be a friend with, everybody and, both parties. And then there's like conflict, like what am I supposed to do? And she had confided a lot in me and another creator that we're all friends with. And finally I just kind of said something, and maybe I shouldn't have. We all do that, I guess.
sure,
But there was already like some distance going on that I didn't really understand. And then she had, come to me and said she didn't want to be involved with the stuff with, the Jess situation.
sure,
And I was like, that's fine. Like, you don't need to be involved in it. It's mine, you know? And I left her out of it. I really tried not to even talk to her about it because she just didn't want to be involved in it. But then it came to where, like, I couldn't duet her or stitch her in the same day that I posted about the drama content because that ties directly back to me. So I don't want you doing that. Okay. And then there was some stuff with Misfit in a group chat. Like, remember with Aunt Karen, and she was talking about that. And I stitched her because we were still cool at the time, I thought. And I was like, hey, isn't it funny that that's like the same thing as this? And showed where I think it was Swede, or maybe not though. Like, don't quote me. Um, don't come for me. It might not have been Swede. No, it was the janitor lawyer. So I had caught him like in two different comments, and I was just trying to help her like connect, like, hey, look at this one. from like a previous situation, and she got really, really mad at me. And because of the situation involved Jess, and she asked me to leave her out of that, you know? And it was just very difficult because like I can try to respect someone's boundaries, but when somebody's boundaries are so confusing, like what can I do and what can I do? And at the time I felt like extraordinarily close to her. And that's kind of everybody's like description of their relationship with her. Like, oh my gosh, we felt so bonded so quick. And I did. We shared a lot of like similar traumas. And I had opened up to her about that.
Sure.
And it's not a story that I ever feel the need to like speak my truth. And I respect people that do, though. Like, I understand that that can be a very, very critical part in healing from trauma. But me, myself, like, I'm good. You know, like, you know, a lot of it. And the people who are very close to me know, but it's just not something like it's traumatizing. I don't like talking about it. So, and it also takes me like usually a really long time to trust somebody like that. But
Yeah.
I felt very, very close to her very, very quick. I did. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl's like me." You know, like she has a chronic illness and she struggles daily and she's a mom and she loves conspiracy theory and like, but I almost now looking back feel like I put her on a pedestal, which maybe was unfair of me to do too.
But I think we did because like our time in Conroe that we had,
Was
I
amazing.
felt like it was a great one. I mean, she showed, I mean, that she's a badass.
Mhm.
She's obviously little in stature, and the amount of alcohol she could put down, it was
It was
impressive.
impressive.
Watching her ride the jet ski was
Yep.
impressive. I mean, and just hanging out and talking and having good conversations and whatnot. I felt like everybody kind of took the relationships as far as like friendships and whatnot to a different level.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why is because we knew her on the app, but then like getting to know her off the app was something that, for me at least, like my respect for her gained a lot.
Oh, massively. Because like on the app, you get, you know, it's still us. Like that is what I think. That is how I feel. Um, but do I present it in a manner to get your attention a little bit more if it's important? Yeah, like that's the point. Um, and I feel like we don't show that part. And it's not because we don't want to, but 99% of the time it's because we're enjoying each other so much that we don't post content. We don't want to be
Right.
on our phones because we're with each other.
I'm
But
bad at that too.
at the same time for like situations like this, like I wish that more people knew how it was when we're all together.
Yeah.
And how it's the exact opposite of, you know, like sorry, Amber Powell, like I'm name dropping you right now. Watch out, they're gonna come for you. Um, her reaction to like meeting us in real life is like I loved it more than anything in the entire world because she was shocked, right? Like like she was shocked that like we weren't on our phones and we weren't making content. And then she was even more shocked that we weren't talking about TikTok. You know, we were just being together and talking about
Right.
everything, you know, and what we believe in. And those are always my favorite moments too, because there's like it's such good it's
Well, because we
changing
were
the
up late.
conversation.
We were up till like 2, 3 in the morning talking with Batty and everybody else that was there. We got up early the next morning. We
Mhm.
hung out all day and then stayed up late the next day and whatnot. And then obviously
We
the party.
didn't sleep the whole time that we were together, and I never do. Like, even just recently, like, when everybody came and stayed at my house, we didn't sleep. That was probably the best that I did sleep during, like, a TikTok meetup.
Right.
And even then, I wasn't getting really super good sleep, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just
And mind you, she wanted to come to both Conroe and to Michigan. Like we didn't
yes.
beg her, we didn't pay for her.
No.
This
Like,
was something that
this was
like it
like
was
a
last minute for her to even
conversation
come
like
to Conroe.
this, and it was I wanted to do something, and well, for the one that she came to, we got invited to be there.
Right.
Like,
Oh, and
that
the
wasn't
Indiana
something
one?
that wasn't my event. Like,
talking about
I didn't
Indiana?
organize that event. We were invited to be there
Is that
from
the Indiana
Steven.
one?
No, that was the Michigan one, the first Michigan one
Oh, okay.
where she spoke. We were
Right.
invited to be there by Steve because we all went out to dinner the night
Right.
before. But so it wasn't even mine. We were doing it for him because he was a TikToker. He did the podcast for a little while. It was the first podcast that I ever went on. And I adore him. And he quit TikTok to go and do the things, you know. So I thought it would be cool. He invited me and I was like, well, let me see if I can get like, what do you feel about me getting like a few more TikTokers? And he's like, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So I reached out to all of you guys. Hey, like I'm gonna trying to help do this thing in Michigan. And everybody was like, yeah, let's go. Like there was no, and then like there's this thing about the flyers that like she thinks that we were trying to set her up with flyers.
But
I don't know.
she
I
made
didn't
flyers for her. She made the flyers for her Indiana
for the
event.
Indiana one. Like
Was a
we didn't
bust.
make those flyers, and then they had QR codes on them. And we all went down to, you know, we all went down to Indiana and we did the Indiana thing, and that was like another moment for me where I was like, something doesn't feel right. Like something just doesn't feel genuine. Like it feels a little bit off. The Indiana event was very weird. I mean, for everybody, like it was just odd. So like I felt I felt her wanting to disconnect from me, which whatever. And I had expressed that to like the person that she was dating because we were very, very close at the time. And then it just became more and more and more. And anytime that like it was done, it was over with. But anytime that like the formula debate on TikTok, that was huge. It
Yeah.
wasn't just one person talking about it. It was all over the place. You were either pro ignoring theft for a mother to steal formula, or you were against it. And everybody was voicing their opinions about that. I remember this.
Yeah, no, I made
I
a
wasn't
video
the
and
only one.
well, I mean, and it's like
She
anytime
took it
that
as
we
a
got
direct attack to her that like my video was just the what the fuck sound or whatever. And it was just like seeing everybody who was Law and Order.
no, I don't think she was getting information to use against us. In all honesty, I don't, because like
No,
she never asked for any information for us. So I don't want to go down that like any type of
no,
like.
I don't think she
I don't
was
think
at
she's like
all.
some infiltrator or anything like that.
No.
I just think she's a very extremely paranoid person that went down in the rabbit hole and I guess never came back out, is what it feels like, because like it's been two different baddies that I've seen
Mhm.
personally. And it's just gotten more progressively worse, that it just was it's just gotten weird. I mean, anytime you make a video, she felt like every video, specifically you, Kat, that you made was
Was
about
about
her, and it would
her. Well, she thought that one was like directed at her, and apparently she wasn't the only one that felt that way. The person that she was dating is dating, I don't know, because I'm not a part of their life anymore. Also said, you know, it felt like a blow, and I said, okay, well, like how did it feel like a blow? Well, you were basically, you know, calling me stupid, and or calling me something, a hypocrite. And I said, no, I made a blanket statement that it was a little hypocritical for us all to be like, law and order, law and order. Nope, doesn't matter. Nope. Like I remember when looting was going on all summer. And, you know, a few people had said, well, what about people that are out there stealing for their kids? That was happening too. Yes, the news was showing us burning buildings and people looting like really, we're going to get into that in just a second. Patriotic felon, I promise. Like I'm going to explain that whole situation as well. So people were still out stealing food for their kids. I mean, there were people who were in a crappy situation who probably saw an opportunity of the mass looting and did it for the right reasons, right? Like I'm sure that was going on
right,
too. And
right.
we ignored that all summer. We screamed law and order. So it was just kind of funny to like watch that many people that felt that way be like, I didn't see nothing. Go ahead and steal. And I'm like, it's not how you felt all summer. And I thought it was funny. That's it. I was just being a smartass. It's kind of who I am.
Right.
She thought it was personally about her. A video about Paris, personally about her.
Well, but we're
So
seeing more of the hypocrisy on her end because she's been anti-establishment, she's been anti-government
right,
essentially, and then now she's instructing all over, like she's calling us the Fed now. She's instructing all of her people that if we truly are the Fed, I mean, think about this. If we were truly the Fed,
right,
why would you send your following to go report the Fed to the Fed?
right. Yeah, that's one that like I can't wrap my head around. So like there was that personal break off from Batty, right? And everything seemed to be fine. Like no one was talking about, anyone. I mean, me and you are always saying how we feel about somebody, but like if y'all are just like new here to like both of our content, that's literally been our content the whole time we've been on the app. So you're just mad because it's someone that you might like, or it's someone that voted the same way as you. Like
And that is
our
something that
content
I'm
is the same.
learning. I'm learning that in general, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I saw it on the greater scale of like politics and the famous folks.
Hmm.
I guess I didn't see it like this low in the I guess class of people. I guess for lack of better words, but like just because you like somebody doesn't mean that they're infallible or don't make mistakes or they can't be a shitty person. I mean, especially if you haven't met them in real life.
Right.
And then even if you do,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they can still turn out to be that way. I don't know. And so that's been the like thing that's been like for me the biggest eye opener in all this is that it's like I get people like her because she is a likable person. We like
Absolutely.
we she was awesome. But it's like she can still make mistakes. I mean, like Trapped.
And that brings us into that, right? Because it's like everything was fine. Well, for me, it was pre-trapped, right? So it started a little bit pre-trapped for me.
Yours was definitely pre-Trapped
Well, because I
with
had made
her.
the video about the Rife machine. I didn't know a whole lot about this Rife machine. I just knew that a lot of people were tagging that guy in all of my like health content. And I'm like,
Right.
who the hell is this guy? And why does he keep getting tagged? Well, he's a creator of this frequency machine. And I've had this conversation with Tex on and off the app. Like I've literally cried to him about how angry it makes me when people sell things as a cure. And the Rife machine is a frequency machine and it goes through your body. Apparently, it's got frequencies that have healing properties. And I'm sure it's really good for you. I'm sure it is. Like when I feel better when I listen to frequency music, when I'm just chilling in my bed, I feel better when I have crystals around me. Do they heal me? I don't know, but they make me feel better. So I'm gonna do the things. That's fine. But to say it's curing me of this, and for only 499.99 you can cure yourself. I don't like that. I'll
Right.
never like that. I don't think it's okay. I don't think that you should call or maybe not call it, but like lead people to believe that it's curing you of an uncurable illness. That's not fair to people because I'm one of those people and I fall into that. I do. There's still times that I do where I'm like, maybe this could cure me and maybe I could live a normal life. No, that's just not the way it is right now. And even if they do have a cure, it's not going to be some dude making it in his garage, right? Like more than likely,
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
gonna
for me, it
be
was like normally this machine goes for 5,000, but we'll sell it for $400 today. It's like,
right. Like there was just a lot of weirdness to it. So I had spoken out about that. Well,
but you now hold on. You didn't really speak out against it. You just said that you
don't push
didn't
it
want
as a
to be
cure.
tagged. You don't want to
Right.
tag him into it. So, like,
Right.
you didn't like bash the guy that makes it. You didn't bash
No.
Patty, and you didn't bash the machine.
No, I didn't even bring Batty up in it. But then that was like a trigger event, I guess. I learned later. I didn't know that she had posted a video about it until someone had sent it to me. And it was like, what was it like 2-3 weeks later?
Right.
Like we were already like in the trenches with Trapped because during all of this madness, I had said something about because then I started responding and to Batty after how long did it go on IG, dude?
A
Like
good week and a half, 2 weeks almost.
weeks, dude,
Yeah.
weeks. And then like she started crossing lines. She started discrediting Brian Carlson's victims. Which was like the big don't do that. And I watched her do it a couple of times, and then I just got really, really mad. Like, I know one of the alleged victims now. I didn't when I started speaking out against him, but now I do. And I'm very fond of her. And I think that she's an amazing girl. And she has more evidence to back her claims than anybody I've ever seen. And like, dude's getting ready to take a plea deal. Like, he did it. You know what I mean? We're weeks away from being able to stop saying like allegedly. And like, he did it. You know what I mean? We're weeks away from being able to stop saying like allegedly. And like, he did it. You know what I mean? We're Tex.
You there?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Did you like hear myself talking again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. That was like really weird.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as I'm not the only one that heard it. I was like,
No, I did.
Like, I totally forgot what I was saying now. Oh, trapped. But she was speaking out about Brian Carlson. I had mentioned trapped earlier because this trap situation, this is not new on TikTok. It's just a lot of people didn't see it the first time around, right? Because like it happened. I mean, Clumsy Gemini, she's full blown said that. So I feel comfortable saying this. Like, she's the one who really brought it to TikTok.
Right.
And started going at him first. Like, they were going for months. Trapped. And yeah, it was back in April. Back in April that they were going at it.
And I didn't even know that.
No, I did. I saw bits and pieces of it.
No, I seriously didn't. That's why when people kept saying, well, this is like his fourth go round, I'm like, well, it might be for him, but it's not for me.
Right. And that's how a lot of people that like they figured it out. So I had made a video because I was like, I don't understand how somebody's whole movement and things like that were based around Save the Children. Like, and you see these alleged texts, you know, from Brian Carlson to somebody else where he's saying things about kids. And he's doing this and he's doing this and he's got this charge and this charge and this charge. And you're defending that. So someone had just said it's really out of character for her to do that. And I was like, but like, it's not though, because I saw her go live with Good Trouble. I remember that live because I remember me and you talking about that live. And I was like, I can't say nothing about it. I'm not talking about her on TikTok. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, it's going to cause a whole shitstorm. I'm not going to do it.
Right.
But when the whole trap thing happened, Good Trouble's original live was March 25th, as my press secretary has informed me. And that's not me, by the way, either. There's some people who think that I am that account. Anyways,
yeah, we'll get to the non-accounts later.
No, God, that's a whole episode
being
in
accused of being a
itself.
lot of accounts.
That's a whole episode in itself. But she had gone live with Good Trouble after Good Trouble had gone live with Trapped, and he asked her about it because she went after Good Trouble because Good Trouble went after Trapped. So when I brought Trapped up again and I played the clip and I said, no, because here she is defending Trapped. You know, here she is stating that if this 15-year-old child, because that's what he is a child, didn't feel like a victim or an adult didn't step in, that it wasn't a big deal. And it's kind of like, that's the exact opposite of who you are. Like, I don't understand what's happening here. And so I had showed it. Well, now a whole new group of people are exposed to what happened with Trapped, right? So Ship makes her video about Trapped. And then she's doxxed within 24 hours.
Right.
And then my first name and last name's released. And then your house is released. And it was just this titrating of like holy shitness from Trapped. But
Right.
that's when she stepped in again. Had to make sure that she went hard for Trapped. And then Little County Girl comes out. And Little County Girl starts talking about how a 12-year-old can give consent. Now there is argument right on she was talking about with another 12-year-old. Right, but then she's talking about a child and adult within the
See, for
same
me,
breath.
like this whole trap thing was legality of things,
Yeah,
not like smartness or strength. It was legality of things that, like,
right.
I have 3 boys. One's 18, one's 14, and one
Babe, please don't start snoring.
either one of them at
I muted the
15.
wrong person.
If they were to get caught with and came to me with with a 25-year-old, like
Yeah.
I'm going law. Like
No, for
I'm not
sure.
gonna freaking high five my kids and go, "Hey, good job! You're messing with a 25-year-old when you shouldn't be." Because guess what? You
No.
don't need to be having a kid at 15. So one, you shouldn't be doing it at all. And two, that old? No, that ain't happening.
Right. But the crazy thing to me is that like after coming in for Trapped, then she right in for Little County Girl because it just happened to be people that she doesn't like going at. Like, I can't wrap my head around whether or not this is done out of dislike for creator, a dislike for me and you because there was a very personal fallout. And that's the only reason that I felt the need for us to touch like a little bit of base on the personal relationship because I was like, okay, maybe it's just this. But then seeing it like repeated, and now I see like you want to talk about connecting dots. The dots that connect there is just people literally making excuses for that or
Right.
defending somebody who's talking about that. And I thought the line in the sand was kids. I
Supposed to
always
be.
thought our line in the sand would be kids, whether you hate me or you love me, kids. If you can't put your hatred for somebody else away for kids, then I'm just led to believe that you actually believe that. And both are bad. Both are just horrible. And yes, like we all do poor behavior during it, right? Like she's done some really crappy stuff. She's accused us of some horrific, insane stuff. And I've been guilty of it too. I mean, it's very known. Like y'all put it everywhere. And the funniest part to me about TikTok is they're like, Kat's denying that she had any part in this. No, I'm not.
So explain your part.
I was in a chat. Me and Joe chat off the app about other things besides TikTok too. Believe it or not, like Joe checks in on me and to see how my kid's doing because he knows I'm struggling with my daughter and he knows I'm struggling with myself. But anyways, we were venting back and forth. It got asked for. I didn't have it, and I made sure that he knew where to go to get it. I mean, it was really that simple. And it wasn't anything that I should have done at all whatsoever. I'm not saying that it was right, but what I'm saying is that I did. And like that's I'm stumbling over words because there are no words. We were in a chat, information was exchanged. I told him where to go, and then he went there, she gave it, and that was what happened with it. I can make excuses for it. I can be like, but she did this and she did and she did. It wasn't my shining moment, right? Because then I was like, ugh, like I'm getting too close to being what they are. Like I'm feeling the need to get like, ugh, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to do that because this is what does it. Like I can do a video, I can do a podcast. I don't need to be like, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. Because then it's just gonna always keep going. and it wasn't yes for like over a month. This was after all the Instagram. This actually just happened a couple of days ago. It happened while I was on my break. I had taken a break, and it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that my daughter was in the hospital. I was in the hospital. I was taking a break. And then when this Brummage guy showed up, it made me really uncomfortable. Like TikTok drama is TikTok drama, but like that dude legit makes me uncomfortable. Like he's a little too invested. He's a little too over posty, you know, and arrogant and, you know, yeah, but I don't want to use that word, right? Because that word is just like blit, blit, thrown around and around and around. And I mean, there's probably a lot of truth to that, but it doesn't really excuse it. Like, and I was going to make a video about it, but there's not much to say about it that would go in a video, you know, because at the end of the day, like I did it. If you're going to like me, then you're going to like me. If you're not going to like me, you're not going to like me. I'm not going to make up a plethora of excuses or pull a victim. Oh, she was attacking me for months. It doesn't matter. Like it was what it was. Shouldn't have done it. And it's done and it's over with now. But then for them to latch onto it, but who was on the text? I'm not sure what you mean.
The text messages that you were talking about.
The what text messages?
That we're talking about with Batty and the doxing issue.
Oh, it was me and Miss Danny.
Okay. And Joe, obviously.
And Joe. Yeah, and that's it. Like there was no big conspiracy. It wasn't a group of people.
I didn't even know y'all were doing this and all.
No, like I had to own it up. I
was blindsided just like to everybody else. I was like, damn, that was happening.
Yeah, I had to own up to that one with text too. But yeah, Shipwreck was not a part of it. And like it's right there. It's in black and white, you guys. Like the text, like all I have to say is yes, the text messages are real. I can say they're not, you know, and go nuts, but they are. They're real.
Yeah.
But it wasn't every single person. So, and then, you know, there's a personal relationship damage by that one too. And that's why I'm not going to really talk about the other person in the text.
Speaking of like this group stuff that like we're accused of with this white wall now and all this stuff, like we don't have, I was in 2 Telegram groups. One was Baddies that when she found out that I was still in it, kicked me out, and Shipwrecks. And again, the only reason why I was even on Telegram or am on Telegram.
Wait, Shipwreck kicked you out?
No, Batty kicked me out.
Oh, I was going to say, it doesn't surprise me that Shipwreck kicked you out.
Yeah. Batty's the reason why I even was on Telegram or am on Telegram. Discord, don't even have it. Like I don't know how to sign on. Don't know how. I know you do, but like I think you can.
I was with Batty. Like a lot of these crazy apps that people are telling me about, I either found out from Batty or the girl that Batty was dating at the time. Like that's it. But what concerns me now, like
Ship just yells at me about her Telegram group.
Good. You got to keep them in check. You got to keep them in check. It's a full-time job.
There's no Discord group. There's, for me at least, I'm not in any Discord group.
I don't have a Discord group.
I'm not in any group checks with anybody. I mean, obviously, I didn't even know Kat was doing any of this. I don't participate in group stuff. I think I'm in 2 group on Instagram or on Snapchat.
I'm in a couple of group chats with all my friends. I'm in group chats with people that I hang out with offside the app. But am I like in a TikTok group chat where I'm like, all right, guys, she posted this at 9:26. I'm going to give a wink in my video and that's going to direct. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
No, like that's not happening. Am I in group chats? Yeah, with my friends. No, there's no upside down pineapples either.
So that's for me, like, and I get like it's this. Everybody wants to, and maybe that's because that's what they're doing, but
I don't know.
I have a hard enough time. Like I'm in 2 Snapchat groups, and that's with Charles, Sergeant Fitz and Jen, and then I'm in another one with you. I think you're still in there.
Yeah, it's the good morning everybody one.
Yeah, you, Pribs, Rebel, Dana, and Heather Reticle.
Right, that's it.
And that's it.
And these are all people that like everybody has.
These are people I've all met
like,
in person.
spending time with.
Yeah, I mean, I've met every single one of them in person and whatnot. And you can ask them. I have a hard enough time keeping up with any of those groups because I just don't do well in group chats.
Pribs is not in our good morning everybody one. Did you
she's
say
not.
she was?
See, I don't even know who's in there.
She's not in there.
Oh, it's Keely.
It's Keely.
Pribs. Sorry, Pribs. Didn't mean to group you into something you're not. Yeah, I guess that proves we're all fed. See, I don't even know like who's all in there because like that's
what makes it like I don't answer anything. The cat never answers anything.
You both suck at chats. I do.
For being the ringleaders, we suck bad. My notifications are like 400 deep.
You can ask Dana. She'll come home and I'm like going through the Snapchat and I just do this.
We call that diddle. That's a diddle.
Okay, whatever it's called. See, I don't even know what it's called. I just do that because like I'm too far behind and I'm not going to try to get caught up.
Yeah.
And so it's like whatever. Like I just flip through it and then I close the app out.
Right. But then it kind of so we're losing track. So then it kind of turned into right. So then like she met this guy. Like the Brummage guy, like we need to address this person because that's when everything went to complete and utter. What in the actual hell's happening? It went from like normal TikTok, let's all giggle, let's all make Sephora videos. And apparently I'm a bully for the Sephora videos. I'm sorry, but if you didn't find that stuff funny, like I don't care. It was funny, but. This guy came out of absolutely nowhere. Like we were friends with her for how long? Like I've never even heard of this dude. Never once. Have you ever heard of him? Yeah. Like before all of this. No. And then he shows that like my first whatever with him was when he went for like Ant is when he really got on my radar. Like I knew that he was kind of talking about me and he was doing like weird videos about this website that he was building to like report people and all the rest of it. But then that you can't call it an accusation, right? Because now we're saying it was just a question on a rumor. No, you know what you did. Like you know what you did there. And setting somebody up to like kind of troll them, that's one thing by like doing one of those leading, like I was just asking a question or I was just doing this. You whole ass accused him of something that could ruin with zero, with absolutely zero at all whatsoever. That was too much. Like, I don't know why that was like my line, but like that's when my line drew to where like I started paying very close attention to what he was doing, I guess, like paying attention to like the videos he posted. And he makes posts like that. Like, well, why is she watching me? Because you're talking about me. You're talking about me. You're talking about my friends. Like, why wouldn't I go watch what you're saying? I care about these people and it's myself. But then it got dark, right? Like it got dark. We had a situation happen where somebody was doxxed over on Instagram, with really big allegations too. Like it wasn't just like this, here's her phone number or here's her this. It was, here is this creator. Here is her ties to political affiliations, right? Like that's alarming when you start making it political and like trying to tie them to like dirty politicians, especially in this kind of climate. It's a little bizarre. It's a little dark. Now, allegedly, a few days after that post took place, there was a situation with that creator's car.
Nobody's doxed anybody in here. What did I 853? Nobody's doxed anybody. Stop it.
How did I dox anybody just now? Anyways, so allegedly her car, I mean, it blew up. Like, now, could it be a coincidence? Yes. Could it be made up? Yes. TikTok's a crazy, crazy freaking place. Did I see a photo of said car? Yes. Did it belong to the person in question? Yes. That's bizarre to me. Now, whether or not it happened or not, you know what I mean? But like, how is that excused? I understand that like our behavior isn't excused. I mean, I own that. I say some stuff, I do some stuff, and I'm a person, and I'm gonna screw up, and I'm gonna do good, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
But like, how is that not like alarming to anybody? Like, that's bizarre. And now we have a website, right? Where all you got to do is go and click, and you can start reporting people.
Remember when somebody else made a website and it was
I
like
do.
bad for doing like literally the same thing, but now those people are defending this website. But I'm just making sure we're
I remember this very, very clearly, and it went nuts. What is going on in our comments section?
just trolls.
Well, feel free to boot them. Like, we can do it on TikTok. Freedom Fam Funny Farm. I love your stuff. I love your. It's very creative. I recommend, download Viva Video. Pay the extra $1.50 for the good editing, and then it makes your troll videos worth watching.
Right.
Go follow Bill of Rights. They'll show you how to do it. So, but to go and start reporting people, right? And the context behind this is that you go and you report the people who are getting your accounts shut down, are getting your videos shut down. There is no way to possibly know that. There isn't. We can think that we know, but there's no way to know whether or not somebody specifically reported you. So now you're taking a gut feeling, and you guys be nice in the comments.
I explained this on the live today. I've had 2 videos that I set to private, 0 views, it never hit the masses, never hit,
Right.
in any page, because as soon as it uploaded, it was immediately uploaded into private.
Right.
Both came down for abusive behavior, seen by nobody.
Right. And
So nobody
like,
legitimately could have posted or reported it, and TikTok still took it down, and I lost the appeals on them both. So like,
and
that's
now in
why
your head though, Tax, when that happens to you, you're like, that's fucking weird. Right? Like,
yeah,
why are my videos coming down? But see, in other people's heads, they're like, there's like bots attached to my account, and then like these people are after me, and it's always somebody's after me. And that's such a paranoid state to live in, that someone's always after you and someone's always out to get you. Right. And the logical thing in your head is that they work for the government, and the government's trying to kill you. And I mean, the government's trying to kill all of us, but the government specifically targeting you. And then it's a God complex, man. Like, what on earth makes you think that you, like, you little old you by yourself, are so important that you're being targeted? Like, what did you do? Right? Like, what would set off the radar for you? And it's not logical thinking, and it's getting darker and darker and darker. Like, all jokes aside, we had somebody post a video bawling. I mean, just absolutely bawling. Everyone's coming after me, and I don't know what I did. And, just sobbing. I'm being attacked, and I'm a victim, and I'm and all these things then go into, if I go missing, something bad happened to me.
Not if I go missing, if I just get kicked off the app.
Right. If I go dark, that was the term. If I go dark for a period of time, something's happened to me. And we know how these people are. So call Homeland Security. first of all, like, why on earth you would call Homeland Security for someone who's missing it's not a thing.
Especially if you believe we're the Fed.
Right. Like, that makes even less sense. But and we can laugh about it, right? Like, we can be like, "What in God's name?" I was on the phone with you when this was all happening, like, in between laughing and being really freaking nervous because it was just so weird. And then now these other people step in, and it's the same people. It's like Witch for Trump, who is Little County Girl's best friend, who also excuses pedophilic behavior. And everybody needs to be worried. And if something happens to her, it was or Fierce Ambition was the first one to blame me, right? Like it's because of Cat's directly involved. And then it went from that to attempted murder in 7.5 minutes.
And now on this new Homeland Security
page,
like,
which is really weird because my guess for that is not someone that likes us.
I mean, the thing is, like, this guy made this whole video that this Witch for Trump posted.
But can you really wrap your brain around that? Like, can we just sit with that?
So here's my thing: like,
how many times was the police department called?
But they're supposed to be like these deep researchers where they like follow and it's like y'all miss it every time. You guys miss it.
There's always going to be people who play pretend, right? Because, like, look, I follow people who are a part of the Q movement. I love doing research on Q. I love
these
doing
people
research on, right. But then there's that little tiny group, and it's not all the QAnon people, and it's not all the conspiracy theory people. I mean, I love those people. It's more than half of my following is conspiracy people, but it's this tiny little group that dubbed it religion, that dubbed it fact. And I thought that the whole point of conspiracy was to like question everything, even the conspiracy you're researching, all of it. But if you have doubts for 1 minute, it's like boom. And we started learning that it wasn't just us when like ours got combined with Patriot 2A Mama, whose whole platform is saving kids.
Well, but these are the people that
spoke out a little against it. It was and now they're faking disappearances, and now they're, do this, and there's very direct orders. And if you speak out against the orders, that's a cult. That's a cult. Like, you're in a cult, baby. Like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know who the leader is. But when you go through Brummage's thing, like, why are you infatuated with us? Like, we are not who you say we are. I don't even leave my house 90% of the time. The only time that I look like this is for a podcast. Like, I'm usually on my couch with my hair in a freaking bun. I don't have magical powers. I can't change the fucking weather. Brummage now just accused me of I'm the reason that Trump lost. I was a part of rigging the election. It was all me. But what's scary to me, though, in all honesty, is not the people who put it out, but like the people who follow, who are encouraging this, who are feeding into this, who are so lazy that they won't go over to my page, really anybody who's involved in this page, just to get some backstory. Like, why wouldn't you? Those are big allegations. Wouldn't you go look for a little bit of a backstory on that? And it's just this blind following. And it's sad to see. Like, it's sad to see people latch onto something as truth so much that they're just, they won't even look. And then it gives like all like conspiracy people a bad name, to where now everybody's like, oh, because it's easier for us to say like the cute people are after us. Well, no, they're not. Not all of them. Not all of them at all. Like, it's just this little group that can't come back up. And then you become paranoid. And like, look, I get it. Like, it's dark. Some of that stuff gets really, really dark. But if if you don't come back up,
Right.
you know, and I don't like that it's being encouraged. That's kind of that's the scary part to me. Even though like it's not mass encouragement, it's still really bizarre to watch.
It's been, and that's why I really haven't posted much, just because it's like, damn, this shit just got insane. Because like 1 minute I'm fascist, the next minute I'm Antifa, which is like
Right.
contradictory. 1 minute I'm working for George Soros, and the next minute I'm a Fed. I'm broke, but yet I make all this money on TikTok.
It's so
Um,
confusing.
I'm mooching off of my fiance, but I'm also working for the Fed as well. Like, I wish like they could just make up their mind what I am, because then I can at least squash whatever I am, because I just I'm just a normal guy that's just on TikTok. I mean,
Well, like people ask us, like, when's enough enough? Like, when's it gonna stop? You do not see us throwing around crazy allegations about them. We said something about Trapped. What Trapped posted is encouraging pedophilic behavior. It is.
yeah,
It is.
grooming for
What
sure.
little county girl said is grooming. The way that she got online and literally said, the fact that you don't, you know, teach your 12-year-old daughters that, you know, sex can feel good and, you know, that this can happen, like that's grooming, whether you like her or not. Because if I said it, if you don't like me and I said it, it's grooming. You can't ignore, like, kids are the bottom line.
Why can't you say what was? Who said I didn't say? What was all? I'm guess for like what, releasing a phone number? Is that what you're saying, Teresa? That's
Can't you
unacceptable.
say what was said about doing to Daddy
Um,
was unacceptable? Maybe he doesn't feel that it was, though.
no, for me, like what I
Maybe
find
maybe
completely
you
odd in all
don't.
of
Like, I
this
don't
is,
understand why you need somebody to
wait,
verbally say something to you. That's
well, here,
weird.
let me explain some things. Like maybe
I'm also not looking at the comments, so maybe I'm missing context.
I might actually find it if it wasn't the fake outrage from the people that are outraged that her phone number was released, because I don't remember the same energy being done when, I don't know, my entire address and photo of my house was released, when my fiance's job was released, when my job has been called.
Mhm.
I didn't see any of the outrage from the same people that are upset that Batty's phone number got released. I see nothing from there. Like, in fact, they all laughed about it in the comment sections that are angry now that a phone number. So if a phone number is where we draw the line at, like, did the yellow pages like screw up all the time then? Because like, I mean,
But it's just it's the same it's the same all over.
I
Whether
didn't
you
see anything about a text message about dragging anybody from a truck.
I don't think
I
that
didn't see
anybody
that.
should be should we say it out loud? I don't believe that anybody should be pulled from the back of a truck. Would you like me to go back through every message that every person that I'm affiliated with has said and comment on it? That would be
Was
my
that in the text?
intent.
Was that in the text?
Not in any text that I was in.
That because that's apparently what they're saying, is that that's what it was, I guess. So I don't know. But
I don't know about it was about tying her to the back of a truck. I don't know what I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, I don't either. So I can't address something. I thought you were talking about like her number being released. So that's
But at
why.
the end of the day, you're only gonna get mad and make a stink about it when it's someone that you like. Don't tell me I'm lying because I see it every day. I see it from my people. I see it from those people. I see it from that people. It's only a problem when you like the person. I have people who are quite literally attacking me over auctioning off a book. I mean, as if I did this horrific crime. Dude posted my child
That was in the
and y'all
text.
didn't say anything.
Well, if that was in the text, I missed it and I didn't see it.
I
But I
don't condone
obviously
anybody getting drugged from the back of a truck.
I don't condone dragging anybody with a truck or any type of vehicle at all. Obviously, but I didn't see that in the text. So
That's
I don't
also
know.
why you don't hear me like going off that much about like doxing is wrong. Like we all know it is, but literally everybody's doing it. So and that's not an excuse, but what I'm saying is like, it's always like, why didn't you say anything when it happened to this person? Because the same reason that you didn't say it when it happened to me, the same reason that y'all didn't go nuts when the dude posted my kid, the same reason that y'all, didn't go nuts when he threatened to drive by my house and my husband had to come home from work. Same reason. So I feel like we waste a lot of time asking each other why we're not calling out XYZ. You call out what you want to call out. I'll call out what I want to call out. I'll meet my dude. You'll meet your dude. And like, can we just chill in the meantime? And can kids be the freaking line? Can kids always be the damn line? Because watching a whole bunch of people that I thought that I was cool with, that I've let into my home, that I've let around my children, that I've been with, excuse that behavior is nothing short of disgusting. Teresa, you might feel that same way, but would you say it? That's the thing. Like, would you speak up with this whole, if you see something, say something? Like, that seems to be like a little trend going around right now. So your bias accepted what Joe did and you think it's cool. I didn't say that. I also had a conversation with Joe. It's why I didn't feel the need to go on the internet and call him out, because I can talk to him. Same reasons that other people get. I've literally heard that reason 100 times over, and it's true. I can go to Joe directly and have a conversation with him. I don't have to put it on the internet. Like, the fascination with everything being online is weird as well. And that's what gets us into 90% of this problem. But it's okay because you guys are okay with that if it's from your friends. And you're okay with it if it's from your friends. I didn't say I was okay with it either. I just explained that. I can talk to my friends privately. Everybody can. That's why we don't have to call each other out online. Anybody. Nobody has to do that. It's a rip-off base for reps. Strangers got involved in emotions. So y'all don't get to keep it private. I want it out there for you to see. I agree with you. But at the same time, I'm allowed to keep private.
Hey, Starbucking. It was Misfit that has called my job. It was Misfit that released my address with a picture of our house. It was Misfit that called my fiance's job with a complete lie that he later admitted he lied. It was Misfit that did all that to me. So what are you talking about?
It was Misfit who posted my child on Instagram. It was Misfit who released my legal first and last name that I don't even go by on my personal Facebook. Like Misfit doxed Danish. I know you don't like him, but doxing's doxing, right? He gave his full address, phone number, Tizzy's full address, phone number. He got a hold of Mother Runner's kids' school. He called her children's school.
And all that was okay because it's the evil left that we don't like.
Okay, so did my friends.
I never got an apology. No, I didn't.
But yeah, I never got an apology for my child being posted.
So no, he didn't apologize.
He totally doxed a dog.
He doxed a dog.
He did.
But I mean, like, and that's the thing. Like, you can't find a video for me of doxing anybody. Have I helped look up people's information? Yeah. And you know what it was for? It was for Paris, and it was for Kat because they were going through legal troubles with Jess, and they wanted to serve her cease and desist letters and wanted her address. I helped look them up. I never released that. That was all done in private. None of that.
Yeah, none of that ever went out. Yeah, none of them called out Trapped. Where's all the videos for Trapped after he?
Yeah, but y'all like them, so that's why you guys do it. You guys didn't mind Trapped doxing people, and so like, and I guess that's where like I guess where I don't have much energy when somebody does it to somebody, because y'all don't have it when it's done to people that you like. When people that do dox that you like, y'all don't have any energy for them at all. Or if it's somebody that you despise, like Donish or anybody else,
Mhm.
y'all have no issues with it, and you guys will gladly turn a blind eye.
Yep.
So that's why I lost energy for it, because at the end of the day, y'all don't care. You're talking about violence against women. I don't have any violence against women, so I don't
Okay,
know what
what
you're
do you
talking
mean
about.
violence against women? I'm a woman. He went live for like 3 hours talking about putting inanimate objects inside of me sexually. So does that I mean, we could do this all night and it's pointless to do because there's going to be bad, 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 because it's a whole bunch of people and you never stick on the two people. Like it's never like, well, what did Cat do to Misfit? Exactly. Only Cat, not Cat, Tex, Charles, this comment section, this person. And that's why they've got to do like whiteboards and stuff like that. I'm not going to do whiteboards because everybody's their own person.
Yeah, and I don't agree with Joe talking like that.
Right.
I
Like
didn't know that he did,
that's
or else I'd have a conversation with him too.
right.
I
If
mean, you can
that's
ask
what,
Joe
but I'm not,
when Joe first created the whole Doom account. I didn't know it was Joe at first,
no,
and he had let out what's his name, Bart's house.
I was going to say
Photo
we
of his house.
blocked him for a while.
And I commented on there and I said, take this down. We don't do this. And Joe took it down. I didn't know it was Joe at the time. I just said, this is not what we do. And the post came down, and later I found out it was Joe. But I don't do this doxing thing because I wouldn't want it done to me, so I'm not doing it to others. I have all of Misfits information. Could I release it? Absolutely. Am I going to? No. You know where it has been released? To the proper authorities, because we are taking legal action 100%.
I was going to say, yeah, you guys decided to
So yes,
go
I
that route
did
with
do it. I do have Misfits information. I mean, he released it on a live the other day anyway, so it's not like it doesn't count anymore. But I gather it for legal purposes for me, because I have gone to the authorities and we will continue to do. So you can't find a video of me doxing or any text of me doxing, or asking people for information like that. You just won't. I just do it on my own.
Why? Hold on. No. I have a question, Pat. Why is it such a big deal to you?
Okay,
Really?
there's 300 people in here almost. Joe, the fact that you called for a woman to be dragged, I do not agree with.
Well,
And
if that's what we haven't seen the freaking tags, so how can I call him out publicly if I haven't seen the tags?
They have, but if that's what he said,
Okay.
Joe, I don't agree with it, with 286 people in here and on the other live streaming events that are happening. I don't agree with you saying that, Joe, at all. I don't condone it, and it's nothing that should be ever spoken of.
I just didn't see my other comments. And I don't feel the need to address anything publicly because a stranger on the internet asked me to. It's weird. It's weird that people that I do not know, nor do you know the person that you are trolling for, care so much about total strangers.
Well, I didn't see the text.
It's
I
very
didn't
weird.
see
I
it,
didn't
so
see
I
the
can't
text
call out something
either.
publicly I didn't see.
Right, but how many times did me and you both literally say, I'm not cool with someone saying that they drug across the car? I'm not cool. You said it 7 freaking times. I said it 3 damn times. And then you just said, okay, publicly. Like we both said, of course, we're not okay with someone telling them that they should get drugged from the back of a car.
Right.
Like,
no, and I don't know. I didn't see the text, so like I can't call out publicly anyways, but like I guess I don't understand. Like, you guys want us to hold our people accountable, and if we do it privately, why is that not a problem? Because y'all aren't doing it publicly or privately.
right. Everybody's behaving the exact same way. Why is Joe the only one being?
I don't know why. Like, Joe's the bad guy.
Really don't know, to be honest with you, because there were 3 people that were a part of that. And shouldn't have excuses for it. Shouldn't have to lie about it for 7 hours. You shouldn't have to send side messages to other people to make someone who you told was your friend look bad, because the person who you told people was your friend and that you cared about so much and called to make sure that her kid was okay and the rest of it, she never threw you under the bus. She took accountability for it and let the pieces fall where they
So you
may.
go after people who are strangers, it's fair game, but not friends. That's not holding them
Oh my
accountable.
God. How
So
do
here's
you
the thing.
know?
I can strangers. I don't have their phone number. I don't have any way of contacting them. My friends, I do. So that's why I can do them privately. The strangers, they're on the platform doing it. So I
But would
call it out right
you
then, so other people can see it too.
would you care as much if we were still just calling out the left? If we were doing everything that we've literally done since we started the app, because we've been the same the whole time. But the thing is that you guys loved it when we were only going based off of, I didn't drop Danny. So she stopped talking to me
Danny
and threw
who?
me under the bus to everybody. So you don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, so
Danny who?
miss it, Danny. So,
Oh,
but like, why was it not a problem when we were going after the left? Like that was never a problem with anybody. Except for the left, right? So why is it a problem now?
and so let me. I do want to touch on that.
Like that's concerning.
And I do want to touch on that because I do get asked, like, why do you go after patriots? Why do you go after conservatives? Why do you continue to go after your own side? Here's my philosophy on that, and why I do hold my side a whole lot higher in standard than I do the left. One, we have an issue, obviously, when it comes to the media and the mainstream folks on the left or in the center. A lot of them believe that we are racist, that we are homophobic, that we are xenophobic, that we're all the things.
Yep.
If we don't speak out against our own for this, how do we correct it? How do we correct the well, what do I want to say? I forget the word that I'm trying to say, but how do we correct that image? That we're not, because we all deny that we're not racist, we're not homophobic, because we're not.
Right.
But when you have Misfit Patriot on live calling for a black man and an angry tone with the N-word, are we just supposed to stay silent on our side? But then if the left were to do that, we would go balls to the wall for them. But no, we don't. So I have no issues ever holding my own side. It's like my own kids. I will hold my kids to a higher standard than I will any other kids. And I will always jump on my kids faster than I will on anybody else's kids. For that same reason, because I hold my kids to the higher standard. And it's the same thing for me. And that's what we all should be doing to clean up our side of things.
Yep.
Because we're seeing it. You see it from people like Stitch that claims that she gets homophobic rhetoric toward her. We see the Misfit stuff going on where he's sexualizing Cat on live, where he's racist on live, where he's homophobic on live. And if we can't correct that and show the left, like, hey, we're serious that we're not these things, then why even speak out when the left does it?
Right.
And so, yes, that's why I do it, because for me, I do want our side cleaned up. I do want our side to be what we claim to be, above the board, that we claim that we're not racist, that we're not homophobic, but then we ignore it. When it's somebody that we like on our side, that we're not, because the left right now is saying that we're in charge of this sex trafficking now because of all the trafficking that we've been doing from Texas and Florida up to other states with these immigrants. Now they're saying we're the sex traffickers. But then we have on our side Trap saying that it's okay for a 15-year-old to be with a 25-year-old, and a whole bunch of people on this side agreeing with them. So, like, where do we draw the line? For me, I always will carry the same energy regardless.
I just wanted to say real quick, we're not besties with anybody but each other. Donish doesn't come hang out with me. I don't have his phone number. Like, y'all put relationships together and y'all use the word friends really weird.
Okay, but here's the question.
Like, everybody's friends to everybody. It's very weird. But like, what if I was best friends with him? Why do you care?
it wasn't just long ago that everybody on the right was crying for a 9/12 day, the day after 9/11, where we all come together.
Right.
Then some of us do come together, and yes, it might be against somebody y'all hate, but guess what? There's a whole bunch of people on the right that hate me that are with the people on the left that I hate. I don't care. If that's who you felt like you could unite with and start bringing those conversations together, so be it. Like, okay, who fucking cares? I'm willing to bridge the gap with anybody.
But like, how are you guys cool with that? Like, how are the people who really want to do something, who really want things to be different, right? Like, we don't like what's going on right now. No one's happy, and I'm not just talking about in TikTok land. Nobody's happy. Even if you respect the president, even if you're not a Trump person, you're not happy right now. You might not admit it, but like things are weird.
Well, then
you know what? You might want to go unfollow like 90% of the people that you follow on TikTok right now.
Right.
Like,
I'm a huge Red Sox fan.
But
and so yes, like if doxing is your line, then I hope you unfollowed a whole bunch of people on the right because they all just did a whole bunch of doxing that I'm sure you're turning a blind eye to.
Like on both sides of this, because so many of you guys are like, oh my God, it's sides. It's either like Misfit and Tux or Kat and Jess and I'm on team this person. Y'all look stupid. Team what? You don't even know us. And you're going to pick teams like we're a freaking TV show. Y'all are weird. Like you're freaking weird. And while you're being weird and starting all these crazy conspiracy theories about people that could be dangerous for them while simultaneously pretending that you're the one that's in danger, you're causing more divide than anybody else. You're attacking people who actually get up and do things. You start attacking events, rallies, where people want to go with both sides. They don't want to make it political anymore. There's a whole lot of us that are so sick and tired of like, well, Trump said, well, Biden said. There's a group of us that are like somewhat in the middle that hate them all, and we're done. We're done. It's time to rebuild this. It's time to get the people in seats that are more middle grounded. You got to get rid of the far right extremists. You got to get rid of the far freaking left extremists, and you got to do it now.
Right.
Because this is like, what in the shit are we doing? You can't talk to a Democrat. If your mind is like that, you're an occult pumpkin. I'm not for you. Go. Like, I'm not for you. I'm all about my Trump. I'm all about the little dancing. I got my hats. Okay. But it doesn't have to be your entire identity to the point that you're going to treat somebody like shit because they voted differently than you. Like that while calling us culty. You can't even be friends with somebody who doesn't believe the same things as you. And God forbid that you go against it, because then they'd like flip the hell out. Absolutely flip out. And it's, well, this and this and this. And what? You guys are making up ridiculous crap about people who aren't even involved now. I truly believe that the whole thing that was done with Ant was so that they could prove our mob mentality with the whiteboard crap. Bro, everyone's going to come in for that dude. That dude does nothing to nobody. He belongs to no clique. He belongs to no group. He loves everybody. He wants to help everybody, and he is adored. Of course, it's going to look like mob mentality when you go after someone that loved you, ding dong. Like,
then it really, and that's where like this whole thing, because like
right, I'm trying to
sabotage. A couple times I wanted to come in and wanted to come in and defend Ant, but then I'm like, well, then I feed into it because Ant's one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we hang out often in person.
And other people have seen that. It's
right. So I mean, like I couldn't even defend him because I'm like, I don't want to make it worse, because then it's like you said, that mob mentality and everything else like that. And it's like, so I can't even defend my friend.
Yep.
And it's not like he probably needs any defending to begin with because of who he is, but like, and that's the thing, like in all honesty, like just brushing on the whiteboard thing a little bit, like when it comes to like red pill rage, Jenny, that one stung a little bit just because she knows me.
Yeah.
we've
Like,
met in
y'all met.
person. Like,
It's
she knows
always
the type of person
weirder
I
when
am,
you know
not
them.
just on the app, but off the app. And it's like, now you want to call me Antifa? Like, what kind of Antifa member puts on a conservative rally with 250 people there?
But that's their thing, is like everybody it's paranoia. It's being so involved with in it, whether it's QAnon or aliens or whatever conspiracy theory you're into today. If you go so far down that you're scared, come back up. Come back up when you get freaked out. Like, it's weird down there.
Right.
Come back up, adjust reality for a few days, but like, that's on you. That's not on me. And it doesn't excuse your shitty behavior. It doesn't excuse you being a jerk to people, saying outlandish things with absolutely no repercussion, because afterwards you're just going to like cry.
Right.
It doesn't excuse shitty behavior.
And that's the thing. Like, and I don't really care for Brokich. I mean, his Art of War bullshit, but like with Jenny, like it truly was like, because I even jumped in her live that whenever she first came at me with Trapped, and she's like, so are you in what I think, was it Telegram or yeah, it was Telegram. She's like, what about your Telegram group? I'm like, that's when I said that I was in Batty's Telegram group still.
Right.
And then that's when she booted me out. Was that same thing?
Well,
But I'm
yeah,
like,
because like you can't be in there, and she notices that kind of stuff, and then she uses people for mouthpieces, like that Fierce Ambition girl. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Me and her went back and forth a few times, and then I'm seeing like this girl took out a whole ass credit card in somebody else's name from the app. Someone who was helping her, giving her money, helping her. In return, she took her information, took a credit. Allegedly, she took her information. Allegedly, she took out a credit card. I saw the paper. I saw the credit request. I saw where the card went versus where and that's where y'all are wrong. You're wrong, and you get called out. And then what you do is you turn it into a conspiracy, or you cry and you play victim when you're the one that's hurting people. You're stopping fundraisers. You're ripping people off with credit cards. You're making up like horrific rumors about people with no proof at all whatsoever. And I'm waiting for the hashtag Kingery to come in my comment section. Like, because that's all that you guys ever want to do. It's like the weirdest thing ever. But you're ignoring, you'll bring that one situation up, but we're going to ignore all this. We're going to ignore them spreading a rumor that someone's sending inappropriate pictures, that this person who dedicates their whole life to human trafficking is now a pedophile, that Kramer's a part of a sex ring. Like, are you guys serious right now? And you have no proof, and you know that you don't need it, because you know that the people who follow you blindly follow you and trust you. And with that, that's what you choose to do with it. And that's weaponizing people. That's weaponizing followers. And that's rage farming. All those buzzwords that like y'all love to use, like that's what it is. It's weird to me. And then I get comments like, oh, Kat's gonna, use her health as an excuse. Find any time I've done that. Find any time that I've told you can't yell at me because I have a chronic illness. How dare you? Like, didn't you know I have a chronic illness? Do I talk about my illness? Absolutely. It's a part of me. I talk about it as much as I talk about anything else, but it's never done in a way of, I know that I said this, but guys, like, I was just really sick. I'm just really sick. And like my brain fog, or, my pain, or it's not an excuse. I know my body. I know my limitations physically, mentally, and I'm responsible for those. Like, I'm absolutely responsible for this. Brian, this is not a therapy session, honey. Like,
who is Brian?
You know who Brian is.
Which Brian?
I think it's FJB Brian. Brian, it's happened to have you been here the whole time or no?
Oh, is he not in here like he was on Meg Opinionated's podcast talking very sexually to women? He's not doing that in this comment section today?
Right. And like,
Weird.
Brian, weren't you in the lives when the whiteboard thing was going down?
He
like,
absolutely
nobody is innocent in this. Nobody anymore. Nobody. Whether you're stirring shit up in comments, whether you're in group chats, whether you're doing this, nobody's hands are clean. Literally nobody's. Everybody has to stop pointing fingers and just try to figure out, okay, what's the end game? Like, we're here, right? We're here. Like, what's the end game? What do you want? What do you want from us? Because I have no clue how to make this stop anymore. but I'm not going to be quiet when someone is saying that I'm working for the fucking government, or like, I'm not going to just like let people lie, blatantly lie with their whole ass chest and not say something back.
And that was the other thing. Like, some people were like, why aren't you raising money for Florida? Well, you just chastised me for raising money for Kentucky. Why would I
Right.
want to raise money for Florida?
Literally
No, I am working on the back
ruined the last
scenes.
fundraiser that we did.
I am working in the back scenes with connections that I have to try to help with Florida. I,
Yeah.
my Fed connections and all, but to try to help push Joe Biden to sign that executive order a little sooner, or get the aid and whatnot. But
I'm on it.
as far as like this is like, for me, gonna be the last time I address anything like this. Like, if you guys want to believe it, believe it. If you don't, then don't. But
well, like we said in the
I'm
beginning,
not any like
to
I'm not
now.
like some ringleader. I don't go contacting people asking them to go report anything. I don't. I'm not in any big group of anything. Whether it be Telegram, not Twitch. What's the other one? Discord.
Discord.
Or anything like that. I'm not a member of Antifa. I'm not employed by the Fed, although sometimes I wish I was, because if you knew the money that they made, maybe I wouldn't be so broke.
I don't think, but like, weren't we all in prison too? So like, how do we work?
Yeah, now I'm a felon, or I've been a felon before, I guess, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I just, it's like, I don't work for Soros. Like, I mean, it's like the shit that gets said, I'm sitting here going,
So yeah, but no, this is not Brummage, but so this was posted in Brummage's Telegram. So by the way, all you got to do is reverse username, search Kat's parlor username to find her. And if that's not her, then she's using a fake identity. Brummage, I've been whole ass doxxed. If you haven't found me by now, you suck at this. Like, just hit up Misfit.
everybody knows you live with your mom.
Look at that. Look at that. I told someone else to hit up somebody for information. Like, I didn't learn my lesson. Hey, Brummage, go get in contact with Misfit Patriot and he will tell you who I am. He's already doxed me. So this is like a repeat. Like, also, he tried to say that I had a fake health condition too. And we already did all this. We already did all this, but I have questions to Brummage. Like, I have questions about his contract for his website, and why is it that they won't renew your website on GoDaddy? Like, that has questions to me. And why is it on like 2 different parts of the internet as well? Because that I have questions about as well. I have a lot of questions like that, actually.
Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, because we're just gonna end up talking in circles again here. Because I mean,
well, we will. I think that, I mean, unless anybody like has any questions real super quick, like I feel like we went over everything that we intended to. Like, kids should be the line in the sand. So if I'm going, if you're going to be supporting pedophilic content, or if you're going to be encouraging grooming behavior, I'm going to call that out. Whether that makes you uncomfortable or not is not my problem. And all of this is Charles's fault. Like, literally all of it.
Yeah, if there's a ringleader, it's got to be Charles.
It was a request.
Oh, that was a request. Okay.
It was a request.
All right.
I guess.
Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming in. We hope this maybe clarifies some things. If not, feel free. I'm pretty much an open book. So.
Oh yeah, real quick before we go, Time Lady, do you want to come in? Going once,
twice, 3 times. Nope.
3 times. We tried again, Time Lady. We tried again.
This is like the 3rd time to try to get her on. So if y'all have any contact, if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want from me that maybe I didn't clarify or I didn't answer that you want, like, ask. I had a conversation with another creator today. Didn't go as well as what I would hope, but I explained my point of view of things and whatnot. Always willing to explain my side of things if you guys want to hear it. If not, believe the rumors, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I'm legitimately just a guy that moved from Texas to Michigan to be with his fiance. Just a normal guy, getting married next year, We're moving, so it's gonna be harder to dox me next
Closer
time
to
because
me.
we're
Closer to
moving.
me.
Huh?
Closer to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can continue our affair, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're slacking on that. We haven't hung out in a minute.
So, all right, Kat.
Yeah,
any
I think we
final
should
send off
definitely leave
words?
the show with that one. Children are not kinks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Somebody needs to tell somebody else that.
and when you start making excuses for that kind of behavior because of your mutual distaste from somebody, you have abandoned all like it's just as bad. No matter which way we go with this, you're either supporting it or pretending to support it out of hatred, and kids are supposed to be the limit. So, in my opinion, there's no rules for you. You
Vote
don't get
no
rules
for
like the rest of normal people
and
because
vote no on Proposal 3 in Michigan.
what?
Justin.
Okay.
Proposal 3 is on the ballot.
No, I know it is. It was just like a weird plug at the end.
Yeah, no, it's so.
Okay.
Kat, anything you want to add?
No, I'll see you when I see you. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Like, it's just, I probably will. It's just weird. Everything's weird right now. I do want to reiterate that Right Side Baddie is safe. She was found.
was never
And I had
lost.
nothing to do with her disappearance. I want to
All
be publicly stated about that one.
With that said, y'all have a great evening. We have Amy the American on Thursday.
Thursday we do, and we'll be going back to normal. Please do not bombard the next live with American Amy with stuff about this, because that episode is Amy's, not your guys's. And when we have a guest, we don't do that. So
Yep. We will see y'all Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Have a good evening.